Catch raw reviews of the latest blockbusters, only here on Screen Scene. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first session of my radio show, a part of Dawg House Radio, called Screen Scene. My name is Alana Knott. I am a junior at Hamilton High School, and for my session, a part of the brand new Dawg House Radio, WHHS, I decided to put together a show where I can talk about something I enjoy. I can talk about something that I enjoy being a part of and enjoy watching, and that is cinema. I love watching movies with my family, with friends, going to theaters to see movies. It's something that brings a majority of people enjoyment. And I decided that I could go through some of the newest movies that just came out, some old classic movies, and just give you a rundown of what they are, who is cast in them, some background plot information, and then at the end, tie it all together and give you my raw review of whether I believe that the movie is worth your watch. So for our first segment today, we are going to be reviewing and diving deep into the 2024 movie adaptation of the musical Wicked. Wicked, the movie, came out recently. It came out a little over 2 months ago, and it has been destroying the theaters, and it's been bringing so much money in, and it's so popular, and everyone's talking about it. And if you haven't seen it, then I don't know who you are, because everyone's seen it. But what a lot of people don't know is that Wicked, the movie with Ariana Grande, the one that just came out 2 months ago, is actually a adaptation of the musical on Broadway. Wicked was first a musical, and it had lyrics by Stephen Schwartz, playwright by Winnie Holzman, and its first performance on Broadway in New York City was performed in 2003. So 22 years ago, Wicked made its first debut on a Broadway stage. And shows have been going on for 22 years. Like the most recent traveling show of Wicked that goes around the United States was in 2022, I believe. So this production has been going on for so many years because it's so popular. No pun intended, if you know what I mean. But the musical adaptation of Wicked is loosely based on the 1995 Gregory Maguire book called Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. Now, some information on the movie. The movie Wicked was released on November 22nd, 2024. It stars Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey, Jeff Goldblum, Ethan Slater, and many more actors and actresses. It is directed by John M. Chu. It was distributed by Universal Pictures. And currently, revenue at the box office, this movie has brought in $634.4 million. This movie is an extreme hit and success for Universal Pictures, for all of the actors. And currently, Wicked has now passed Mamma Mia, which is also a film based on a Broadway musical. Wicked has now passed Mamma Mia to become the top grossing film based on a Broadway musical. It has done so well, and we are going to take a deep dive into why it has done so well by digging into the plot. The film opens where The Wizard of Oz ends. The Wicked Witch of the West is dead, and the citizens of Oz celebrate with a song called No One Mourns the Wicked. Glinda, Ariana Grande, reflects on the life of Elphaba, Cynthia Erivo, introducing the central question of the movie. Are people born wicked, or do they have wickedness thrust upon them? Elphaba's story begins with her parents, her mother's affair with a mysterious lover, even though it's heavily hinted at, results in Elphaba's green skin, which will later be seen as a main theme throughout the movie. Raised in a strict household, mainly by her nanny, alongside her younger sister, Nessa Rose, who is played by Marissa Bode, who is constrained to a wheelchair, Elphaba is burdened with her father's disdain due to her green skin and the promise to take care of her sister. Shiz University. Upon arriving at Shiz University, Elphaba meets her future roommate and unlikely friend, Glinda. This young version of Glinda is introduced to the song Dear Old Shiz. Elphaba wasn't intentionally supposed to be attending Shiz. She was just there to see her sister off and stayed after her dad told her she must take care of Nessa Rose until she gets settled safely in her room. Later, Madame Morrible, played by Michelle Yeoh, notices Elphaba's extraordinary magical abilities after Miss Caudle, played by Kalia Settle, tries to wheel Nessa Rose away. This leads to Madame Morrible telling Elphaba they will begin one-on-one lessons, making Glinda jealous, as she wants to be a sorceress one day, causing her to accidentally get stuck rooming with Elphaba. Elphaba's future connection with the Wizard of Oz is formed here, with her intent to possibly change her skin from the color green. This leads to a beautiful rendition of Cynthia Erivo's song, The Wizard and I, Dancing Through Life. Jonathan Bailey's Fiyero Tigelaar is later introduced when he is approaching the school on horseback and runs into Elphaba. There's an immediate connection between them, but at this time it seems like Fiyero may simply be flirtatious with anyone he comes across. Later at the school library, the students are encouraged by Fiyero to not take life too seriously, as highlighted in the lively dance number titled Dancing Through Life. The large-scale choreography and practice sets created for the film are on full display during this extended sequence. Fiyero and Glinda bond during this event, sparking a new romance. In addition, Glinda tells Buck Woodsman, who is played by Ethan Slater, who has a crush on Glinda, to ask Nessa Rose out on a date. Dance at the Ozdust Ballroom. The Ozdust Ballroom scene in Wicked depicts a pivotal moment where Glinda and Elphaba begin to connect, marking the start of their transformative friendship. The sequence shows Glinda inviting Elphaba to join and gifting her a black pointed hat. However, the scene in the ballroom underscores the emotional complexity of both Elphaba and Glinda. Elphaba shows up with the hat on and is quickly made fun of, then begins dancing by herself. In this moment of isolation, a genuine friendship begins to blossom when Glinda joins Elphaba on the dance floor. This leads to one of the more lighthearted and warm moments of the film when Glinda gets her moment to sing Popular, showing Elphaba all the ways she can help her dress and present herself in an upgraded style. The plight of animals. Earlier in this film, Dr. Dilliman, voiced by Peter Dinklage, a goat professor, warns Elphaba about the oppression of animals in the city of Oz. It's unclear the extent of concern the animals should have, but now it's revealed to be dire. Following the Popular sequence, Dr. Dilliman's forcible removal from Shiz marks a pivotal moment. This leads to a new professor coming in with a small lion cub trapped in a cage as an example of how animals will be now treated in the future. However, Elphaba is defiant and uses her powers to put everyone in the classroom to sleep, besides Fiyero. As they go save the lion, sparks fly between the two, despite Fiyero currently dating Glinda. In I'm Not That Girl, Elphaba laments her feelings for Fiyero, who is seemingly unattainable. Journey to the Emerald City. Later at Shiz, Elphaba receives a special invitation to meet the Wizard of Oz, who is played by Jeff Goldblum. Even though it was only supposed to be Elphaba, she asks Glinda to join her at the last second, and they both board the train on a new adventure. Their all-filled arrival is captured in the song One Short Day, featuring a cameo from the original Broadway Wicked stars Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. Defying Gravity. At the Wizard's Palace, Glinda and Elphaba are introduced to the Wizard of Oz, as he shows them his plans for Oz and the road that leads to the Emerald City. It is deemed that yellow could be an appropriate color. Later, with her initial excitement quickly fading, Elphaba discovers the wizard's sinister plans to enslave Oz's animals and realizes he lacks true magical powers. A demonstration of her own abilities goes awry when her spell using the Grimoire causes the wizard's monkeys to sprout wings, leaving them in agony. This leads to Elphaba and Galinda having to run away from the winged monkey creatures and the wizard's guards to try and escape. There's no other way out than by an enchanted broomstick. The climactic number defying gravity sees Elphaba rising above the citizens of Oz on her broomstick, as Galinda tearfully chooses to stay behind and align with the wizard. The movie reaches its end with a beautiful picture of Elphaba flying through the sky at rapid speed into the distance. The audience, we viewers, are presented with the infamous "to be continued" message, implying that there is still more to the story. Fans and viewers can join Elphaba and Galinda on their journey as it continues in November of 2025, when Wicked Part 2 hits theaters across the United States. Now it is going to be everyone's favorite time for my personal feedback. I had the pleasure and opportunity to watch the live Broadway production of Wicked at the Aronoff Center in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, when the traveling cast from New York City came to Ohio back in the fall of 2021. After watching Wicked 2 different times in theaters within the past month, I have some very positive reviews for this picture overall. I personally am a big fan of Broadway and musicals in general. My mom loves singing. My dad loves singing. So I've grown up in a family where musicals and watching them and going to see them live have been very present. When I saw the live Broadway show, I was only 12 years old, and to be honest, the plot of the musical made me really confused. Just after watching it only once, I was familiar with The Wizard of Oz and what the movie entails, but all of the background story confused me when I was only 12 years old. But now, after seeing so many videos and finally reaching a true understanding of what the message and morals and themes of the story are, I can appreciate the art of it a lot more. Cynthia, Erivo, and Ariana Grande portray such raw and realistic emotions of young and vulnerable women and their struggles. Although Elphaba is an unusual shade of green, rather than your average everyday skin tones, messages about equality and not judging a book by its cover can be made clear through Grande and Erivo's portrayals. The music in all of the songs are so well done. All of the lead singers and all of the ensemble sound amazing, and I truly don't believe there's a single flaw in the music. The production team, writers, producers, directors did a wonderful job with translating a show that was originally written for the stage onto screen. With sets and CGI, you truly feel entranced into the world of Oz as you give this movie a watch. The only downfall to this movie, in my opinion, is that it is on the lengthier side. Wicked's runtime is a total of 2 hours and 40 minutes, not including your typical 10 to 20 minutes of trailers prior to the start of the movie, if you're watching in the theaters, of course. Overall, I would give the 2024 Wicked movie a solid 9 out of 10. This movie is not the best movie I've ever seen, in quotes, but it might be close to it. If you, listening, enjoy musicals, The Wizard of Oz, Ariana Grande, and fantasy, this movie might just be the right choice for you. Thank you all for listening to the first session of my radio show, Screen Scene, and thank you for all tuning in to the brand new Dawg House Radio, where anything is possible. Have a good one. Catch raw reviews of the latest blockbusters only here on Screen Scene.